I guess I'm live. Hello, everyone. It's Dr. Manjiri Nadkarni, Ayurvedic MD, registered holistic nutritionist, back today with another interesting topic. So, today we are going to talk about acne and how to manage acne holistically. I think I need to change the banner. I still haven't changed the overlay, so I'm going to do that right now. Uh, and I think that should be perfect. Yeah. So I have changed the banner and it says, on Facebook. So it says managing acne holistically. And that's what we're going to talk about today. If you are watching this live, please say a quick hi. If you are watching this as a replay, you can put a hashtag as replay. And if you have any questions for me at any point of time, feel free to post your questions here and I will be more than happy to answer. So since the month of September, we are back with regular Facebook lives. I took a month break and the break was really good. So I'm back now every month, every Wednesday, I'll be live talking about different topics for the entire month of September. We are talking about skincare, and that is one of the most common questions that I get asked, what do you do for your skin and how can you get a glowing skin? So here is where I'll be sharing all the secrets to getting a fabulous, clear, blemish free glowing skin. Um, here in the live, right? So today we are talking about acne. So acne or pimples, as it's commonly known, I think everybody struggles with it. Like most people that I've known have struggled with it at some point. Sometimes, you have a lot of acne, which can really stress you out. It can lower your self-esteem. It can really create a lot of, low confidence in you if you have tons of acne. And right now what I'm also seeing is that because of the face masks, right, that we are all commonly using during COVID, people's acne problems are on the rise because of the mask, or sometimes even the skin products. If you change certain skin products, that can be on the rise. So we're going to talk about acne, what exactly it is, and how is it like really impacting you. So we'll talk about that. So acne or acne vulgaris is a commonly found skin condition. Typically the dead skin and oil from the skin can clog your hair follicles, and that's understood as acne, right? And acne can be understood with several types. So when we talk about whiteheads or blackheads, right, um, they are all connected with different kinds of acne, or acne, they fall under the whole group of acne. So when we talk about blackheads, those are bumps that are filled in on your skin with excess oil. And usually because of the exposure to the outside is what, or the pollution is what makes it turn black, right? That's the blackhead. The whitehead is the bump that is remaining closed by oil and dead skin. Then you have papules, which are small red pink bumps that become inflamed. There's pustules, which can be pus containing pimples, and they are very painful. They can also be really red, surrounded by red rings, and they can cause a lot of scarring if you're picking at it, right? There's also one thing known as fungal acne, which happens because of excessive yeast in the hair follicles. That's known as Pityrosporum folliculitis. There are nodules, or there could be cystic acne as well. So these are all different kinds of acne, and these can definitely impact your life. This can cause a lot of stress to you, right? So what typically causes acne? So for most part, if you look at the hormonal piece is quite common when it comes to acne, right? Because you will see it during the teenage years, and acne is usually driven by androgenic hormones, right? So they're not driven a lot by the female hormones, but they're driven by the male hormones in your system, and they're very active like during the teenage or the young adult years, right? And sensitivity to the hormones and sometimes the surface bacteria on the skin can create issues, clogging your pores and creating acne as well. So that's a few things, that you need to know about acne. And acne again is highly heritable, and genetics can explain 81% of variation in the population with acne. And that's why if either of your parents have had acne, you will be prone to getting a lot of acne on your face, right? So that's the one thing to understand, that if you have a parent that has acne, your chances of developing acne are extremely high. And my mom had a lot of acne growing up throughout her teens, there was a little bit of scarring for her as well. But luckily, I inherited my dad's skin. So I didn't get a lot of acne. Whereas my siblings struggled with acne growing up, right? So there is definitely a genetic component to it. And again, when we talk about acne, hormonal acne is another thing that we are going to talk about today, right? So what are we going to talk about hormonal acne? That hormones definitely impact your acne, right? So if it's not just about what product you use, it's not just about what you're eating. There could be several conditions, especially hormonal conditions. If you're going through something like PCOS, sometimes you're going through menopause and your hormones are off and you suddenly start having breakouts. So it does not mean that you are, or you always have to be in your 20s to develop acne. You can be somebody in your 30s or 40s or even 50s, and you can develop acne as well. So five things I'm going to discuss about hormonal acne. Number one, it is definitely connected to your hormones and fluctuation in the hormones. If your hormones are healthy, you are not going to get hormonal acne. But if you have a lot of fluctuating hormones, if you are having some hormonal issues which are undiagnosed as well, that can create hormonal acne as well, right? Puberty is the time because you're just, your hormones are just getting activated. Your hormones can fluctuate a lot, and that is one of the reasons why during puberty hormonal acne is extremely common, right? Again, it's more common in women as well than men. And even during menstruation or during menopause, so a lot of the times, you'll have like one pimple pop up just before your period or during your period, or you could also start developing acne during your menopause, right? And that is because every time your hormones are fluctuating or out of balance, especially the androgens, they can create acne. That's the main thing about hormonal acne. They will be affected by your menstrual cycles as well. They could also be affected by different conditions. If you have excess of androgens in your system, androgens are hormones like testosterone or dihydrotestosterone, DHT or DHEA, right? So if you have high levels of these hormones, because of different conditions as well. So if somebody who has PCOS or PCOD can have high amount of androgens, right? And that's where the hormonal acne can happen. And that's why you need to know about it. So let me go back to my notes. Okay. Yeah. So that's why PCOS extremely common, where you will see a lot of acne as well. If you have any questions for me, just say a quick, like you can put it in the comment section, and till then I'll just keep talking about it. Now, not just your hormones, right? Like not just the androgens, but high levels of certain hormones like growth hormone as well as insulin like growth factor 1 have been linked to hormonal acne. So why am I talking about hormonal acne? Because it's also something that I see commonly in my practice. I work with a lot of women who have imbalanced hormones, or their hormones are totally off balance. One of the signs of hormones going off balance is your cycles are getting dysregulated. If your menstrual pattern changes, if you have heavy clotting, if you have a lot of breast tenderness, if you have severe backache, if you have extreme fatigue, if you have acne, those are signs that your hormones are a little bit off. And I work with a lot of women in my practice who are dealing with hormonal issues, and that is also one of the reasons why I see hormonal acne quite commonly in my practice. The other reason that I see acne quite commonly in my practice is I work a lot with food sensitivities and food allergies. And as I mentioned just now, that besides your androgens or male hormones, certain hormones like growth hormone as well as insulin like growth factor 1 can create a link to hormonal acne. Now, it will be interesting for you to note that IGF-1 or insulin like growth factor 1, which is related to worsening with the hormonal acne, is linked to certain proteins from milk, right? So when we talk about proteins from milk, we're mainly talking about whey and casein, and whey is the main one that is linked with IGF-1. in humans, right? So there are different studies, or different researchers who are trying to figure out which foods or nutrients can increase the IGF-1 in humans, and that can also make you prone to having this hormonal acne. And they found that protein derived from milk, fish, or poultry, or even red meat, is commonly linked to hormonal acne, or IGF-1 is what they found, right? So if these foods are increasing the insulin like growth factor 1, chances are they are also worsening your hormonal acne and creating or triggering a lot of the hormonal acne, right? So that's one thing you need to be aware of. And uh, often in I've seen in my practice that dietary changes can play a huge role in helping you manage your acne holistically, right? There are so many different options. If you look at the modern medicine, you can be on prescriptions. Certain doctors put you on birth control, for the hormonal acne. According to me, it's counterintuitive because your off balance hormones are creating the acne. And if you're further going on birth control, you're introducing more hormones into your system, which are synthetic, which are not natural. And they will, or they might or might not help you manage the symptoms, but overall they make your body feel worse after a few years. You might not notice it right away, but you will notice it after a few years. The same thing is very true for women who are having a lot of menstrual issues or menstrual irregularities. If you are put on birth control pills, it might not make it worse right now, but it might make it worse later on, right? So just be aware of that and try to talk to different practitioners, try to understand what your options are. Now, one question that I've received here is, what's the difference between hormonal acne or regular acne? So during puberty, often like your acne can happen in the T zone, or you can get it on your cheeks or something. When it comes to hormonal acne, it can appear more on the T zone, your forehead, your nose, your chin, right? And also the lower part of your face. So if you're having a lot of acne here, especially like cystic acne, the bottom of your cheeks or around your jawline, and also certain acne on your back, that is a sign that this is hormonal acne. Again, if this acne shows up during your menstruation or just before your menstruation, that is another sign that it's hormonal acne, right? If you had a clear skin and suddenly you started developing acne again, and your cycles are irregular, chances are there could be underlying issues like PCOS, right? So getting tested, getting an understanding of what's going on in your body is extremely important. And when we talk about acne, again, it's not just about teenage years, but even during menopause, if your hormones are fluctuating, you have the tendency to develop hormonal acne, right? Now, let's go and talk about how to create an anti acne diet and lifestyle plan. So, according to Ayurveda, right, there are three main factors whenever we talk about, and I've spoken about this in my previous video on skin health as well. So, the three main factors we talk about it as three upasthamba, or three pillars of your health. The number one thing is diet, right? The second thing is, how do you manage your energy levels? And the third thing is sleep. So your body needs adequate amounts of proper food that is customized to you to be able to nourish your body. If you are having a lot of preservatives or chemicals in your food, processed foods, junk foods, right? Your body will sudden not be able to handle it, and sometimes that is another factor which can cause excess of either bacteria in the system because of the gut dysbiosis, and often lead to acne. And one of the examples I give people is, sometimes they'll be like, oh, but I eat out and I can handle it, right? But it depends on how much you're filling the box. So if I have this box and if I fill a little bit here, it's not going to kind of overflow. But if every single day you're putting in toxins and you're filling the box, then everything else will overflow, right? And where does it overflow is the channels of detoxification. You also have to understand that your skin is also an organ of detoxification. So if you are having poor diet, poor lifestyle, if you are having a body that's filled with toxins, your body will often try to detoxify via your skin, and that will lead to excess body odor, or that will lead to acne or breakouts as well, right? Now, certain foods have been linked to acne, like if you have a lot of greasy food, right? So from an Ayurvedic perspective, we talk about, avoiding fried food and junk food, which is going to vitiate the pitta and kapha, right? And in Ayurveda, your blood is one of the most important things that we talk about, and we often talk about blood purifying herbs like neem, or purifying the blood, which is going to feed and nourish your tissues as well, right? So twacha, or the skin, is one of the upadhatus of, the first um, tissue rasa, and often the health of how good your digestion is going to reflect on your skin, right? And then it's going to go over into the blood and other tissues as well. So not having a healthy skin, having a skin that's breaking out a lot, often can mean that you're having vitiation of pitta or kapha, right? Because if you look at the sebum, or oils that secreted out of the skin which gets trapped, the oil is a kapha category of product, right? So oil is going to be increased by, or sorry, excess oil consumption is going to increase kapha, and excess increase of kapha in your body will show up as excess secretion of sebum or oil on your skin. So that's something to note. Again, pitta is responsible for that redness. When we talk about those red pimples, which can be painful or pus filled, that has a direct link to your pitta as well, right? So that's why making sure you're avoiding fried foods, you're avoiding junk food, that will help you balance out the vata, the kapha and pitta, and that will also help you rebalance your system, right? Just by avoiding or by doing the nidan parivarjan. The second thing you need to do is always add some bitter foods in your diet, right? When we talk about bitter foods, dandelion, arugula, kale, anything that's bitter tasting, karela or bitter gourd, right? Anything that's bitter tasting is going to balance both kapha as well as pitta, and that will also help detoxify or purify your blood and detoxify your skin as well. So if you are looking to have a really good skin, number one taste that you must include in your diet is the bitter taste, right? Having too much sweet or salty or sour foods is not really helpful for your skin, but consuming bitter foods is especially important for having a healthy skin. And consumption of bitter foods, right, is especially important for balancing kapha pitta. It helps detoxify your liver. It also helps detoxify your skin as well. So that is one thing you have to note and you have to understand. Now, make using of cosmetics, right? So a lot of the times I see, nowadays, because of the exposure to the social media, or exposure to, like, or how much people are on social media, right? A lot of the times, you will see that, okay, I have to apply a full makeup and foundation, but everything you apply on your skin can either be healthy or unhealthy for you. So if you're using products that are filled with chemicals, your body is going to absorb those. And if especially you are allergic or you are sensitive to certain products, they can also result into breakouts or pimples, right? So be extremely careful of the products that you would use on your skin if you're having problems with skin, especially acne. And avoiding the use of cosmetics. So for somebody who absolutely loves cosmetics, the one thing I'll tell them is to really make sure that everything they're using is clean. And if they are at home, if you're going out, you can definitely use your foundation and everything else. But when you're at home, make sure you're cleaning your face with a really nice soap. Neem, again, is a fantastic herb for skin. Neem oil works really well for external application as well. And you can also wash your face with a neem soap. Neem works really well for somebody who has an oily skin. Neem tends to dry things out. So if you have a dry skin, it might not help you. But when we talk about pimples and acne, it's always because of this excess oil secretion, right? Which is more prone in pitta as well as kapha prakriti individuals too. So neem will be a good herb of choice. Um, Okay, so I'm gonna say a quick hi to Isha. Bijal was here as well. I'm seeing Shri Soul Ayurveda, Alice Toronto is here, Janika is here, Miss B Heaven is here, Girish Rajesh is here, Rishikesh. So we had quite a few people on Instagram, and I'm seeing Avan Fazal is here as well. Um, so if you have questions related to acne, please do let me know, and I'll be more than happy to answer those questions. Right? So we are talking about an anti-acne diet and lifestyle plan. So for diet, we've mentioned that avoiding any junk food, avoiding fried food, making sure you're not aggravating your pitta as well as kapha, making sure you're having a lot of bitter foods in your diet, especially dandelion, greens, arugula, chicory or endives, any spring mix that you like, kale if you like it, bitter chocolate if you like it, that's fine too. So any bitter taste is especially important. Making sure you're also avoiding dairy. So, one of the things I've seen in my practice is that cow dairy, especially in the Western world, when we talk about the A1 casein, right? So while whey is linked to the insulin like growth factor 1, dairy again with the casein can create issues as well. And sensitivities to dairy are extremely common, often completely avoiding cow dairy except for ghee and butter, which do not have the animal like milk proteins, will help you clear your skin off, right? So avoiding dairy, goat milk has a different molecular structure. You can have that in small amounts, but avoiding milk, dairy, avoiding a lot of red meat. Red meat can often lead to constipation if you're not detoxifying. Again, there's more chances of getting that toxic threshold in the body, and that will show up on your skin as well. So avoiding that. We've talked about cosmetics, making sure only using clean products is important. um, Making sure you're managing your stress and anxiety. Anxiety is extremely common today. Stress again is a very common factor we are seeing in today's world. And when you look at one of the main causes of the rasa imbalance or the first tissue getting out of balance, that's known as atichinta or overthinking, right? So if you're worried, if you're stressed, if you're anxious, that is going to directly show up on your skin. So making sure that you are um, using, like, not stressing out too much. And when it comes to a good skin, sleep is equally important. So you have to make sure that you're getting the required amount of rest for your unique type, right? So kafas love to sleep, and they require they have a really deep sleep. They don't require a lot of sleep. Vatas, because of having not enough energy reserves in the body, will require more lengthier sleep, right? So again, you have to make sure that you are sleeping well, you are getting that deep rest, which is helping you recover and recuperate, rejuvenate your body, right? um, some herbs or some common things that you can use externally. I don't talk about internal herbs on lives because not the best approach. But certain common household spices, even something like turmeric, is extremely efficient, being antibacterial in nature, and it can also help clear your skin and purify your skin, right? Again, there is one bacteria that resides on your skin which is known as propionibacterium acnes, which often can lead to excess acne in your system, right? So this is a product, this is an organism that lives in your skin microbiome, right? And if it grows out of ordinary, if it grows excessively, it can create acne as well when it gets trapped under your skin surface. So using something like turmeric or haldi is another fantastic herb to help with skin. And turmeric can also lighten any of the scars. So if you have any of the blemishes, rather, not scarring but for blemishes, definitely making a paste of turmeric. If you have hot pimples or they're really painful, they're really sore, you can use a little bit of sandalwood, and these will definitely help. If you have excess secretion of oil from your skin, you can definitely use something like a neem powder, right? And make sure that you are not using a lot of alcohol based products on your skin, because alcohol based products can often dry your skin out, and they will also end up killing all the natural healthy bacteria from your skin, which you don't want, right? So these are a few things I wanted to hop on and talk about skin. So anti-acne diet and lifestyle plan, make sure you're getting enough sleep, make sure you're getting enough rest, make sure you're not stressing. Water again is extremely important. If you are somebody who's not drinking water, that is a huge problem. And if you are somebody who's drinking 3 to 4 liters of water, that is another huge problem, right? So you don't need excessive water, you just need the amount of water that's right for your body, right? But having 6 to 8 cups of water every single day is extremely important for your body to function well and naturally detoxify your system. So food, water, enough rest, managing your lifestyle by not stressing out is very, very important for managing acne holistically as well. And then if you have any of the underlying conditions related to hormones, we talked about hormonal acne as well. So all these remedies that I was talking about, the bitter foods and balancing your sleep, that might not help you 100% if you're struggling with hormonal acne, unless and until you take care of your hormones, right? So you have to go back to the basics, really try to test, maybe work with a practitioner to see where your hormones are, how are they functioning, are they out of whack, because your cycles are out of whack or you're feeling extremely emotional. So there are some signs that can indicate that your hormones are not working well. And once you start rebalancing the hormones, the acne will start phasing out as well. So, thank you for watching this, guys. I know it's been quite some time. It feels like ages that I've done lives. And last week, for whatever reason, the Facebook Live that I was doing, there was some connection error. I was trying to do it from my car and it ended up not working as well. So, thank you all for taking the time and showing up here. If you have questions, please let me know. If you have any comments, if you have any specific questions related to skin health, I'll be doing 3 more sessions after today till the end of the month. And we are going to talk about um, different conditions. We're going to talk about eczema, which is for next week. We're going to talk about how to heal eczema naturally. September 22nd is one of my vacation days where I will still be doing the Facebook Live from wherever I am. And I'm going to talk about detoxing your personal care and beauty products. And September 29th, we're going to talk about an anti aging skincare 101. Right. So if you have any questions about these, or if you have any questions about skincare, also make sure you follow me on my Instagram at the rate Manjiri Ayurveda. I'm also going to be talking about some homemade skincare packs that you can make, or homemade, masks that you can make for your skin, and certain herbs that will work really well for your skin health. Right. So stay tuned and make sure you're following me on Instagram at the rate Manjiri Ayurveda. Uh, so Avan is asking me, where are you from, sir? I'm not a sir, I'm a ma'am actually. So I'm a female, so don't call me sir. Anyways, I'm from Mumbai, India, and I've been in Canada for the past like 11, it'll be 12 years soon. So thank you once again for watching. I will catch up with all of you for the next session on the next Wednesday. And till then, stay happy, stay healthy, and stay stress free. I think that's really important in today's world. So thank you for watching. And again, if you like this, please share it with your friends. If you know somebody that's struggling with acne and not sure if it's hormonal or not, please, you can share this privately with them as well. If you don't want to tag them and embarrass them, just hit on the share button and you can just send it to them via Messenger or via Instagram Live as well. Thank you once again for watching. Have a fantastic day. Bye for now. Oh, what's happening here?